Instagram universe, CLS audience, friends, family, CLS experience, new location. Just waiting for my man, the badass, relentless, super entrepreneur, Carlos Reyes. Hey Margie. Hey Bree. Hey Jess. Alexandra, how you doing? Yeah. Waiting for Carlos. I'm gonna go right in. My man is a real estate mogul, juggernaut in all facets of life. Unbelievable human being. Hello, Alexandra. Yeah, that's right, Bree. Santa Monica Pier on the beach right next to Venice. Los Angeles. This may or may not be my home in the near future. Keep that a surprise for now. Cookie Girl. What's up, Monica? How you doing? Waiting for Carlos here. That's right, brand new location. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Jess? Where you at? There she is. Let's fire away with some questions. In the meantime, I'll wait for Carlos, audience. Let's get Suzanne, how you doing? Waiting for Carlos. There he is. Yeah.
Hey,
Yeah, buddy. Woo.
want to say what's up, man, to my man Craig Siegel.
What's up, team?
Yo.
How
We're
you guys
grinding,
doing?
bro. You know, we're always
Hell yeah.
trying to mastermind in here how to take over the world. You know.
Of course you are, buddy. I would expect nothing less. It's funny because it's the first time I've been away in quite some time. I've been going like a lunatic, as you know. I just met up
Where
just
are
the
you
studio.
at?
I'm in LA right now, Santa Monica.
Oh shit.
Yeah, there he is, Jakey. I actually just left the studios with our mutual friend, Big Bad Dave Meltzer. He says to say hello.
Oh yeah, man. Tell him I said what's up. Hey, real quick, I wanted to show you this dude. Look, he got his lips done. Look.
Are you kidding me?
Let me see.
No. He's joking.
Oh, bro, he got a filter.
I didn't know you could put the.
I love you, buddy. Carlos, how you feeling, buddy? How's your side?
Oh, great, man. I switched up my nutrition, bro. I hired a nutritionist.
Yeah.
And brother, I'm telling you, I went I wouldn't say organic. Okay? But my nutritionist, he's like everything it's pretty much like all sprouts, you know what I mean?
Good.
Yeah, it's and then I'm also using this anti-inflammatory app called Blood for Your Type, so I'm not eating anything that causes inflammation at all. So that's been helping out a lot.
Buddy, your discipline is second to none.
Thank you, brother. I got pretty decent discipline, right? Yeah, I got good discipline. Thank you, brother. Yeah, appreciate it, man.
I want to introduce you to my audience real quick for some of them that may not be familiar. We just dropped our episode right now as we're going live. We just hit 100,000 downloads all over Apple's new and noteworthy record-setting podcast. For you guys that do not know Carlos, he's a real estate mogul. He is the living embodiment of the American dream. He's on absolute fire in all facets of life. The episode is unbelievable, just gem after gem, and such an unbelievable ride and testament to your story. And I want to dive right in, my man. One thing that you mentioned on the episode, I never heard it phrased like this, but it really stuck with me. And I'm going to say it the way you said it. Rough draft moves. What do you mean by that, my man?
Well, a lot of folks never get going, man. They get analysis paralysis, you know. They get stuck on all the things that don't matter, you know, the things that don't matter. Let's just say that someone is like, you know what, I want to be a real estate investor. And they're like, oh man, but how can I get going? Oh, I got to go set up an LLC. Oh, I got to go learn from this guy. I got to go to a seminar. I got to go to an event. Instead of just making rough draft moves and just moving forward. You don't have to have it all figured out. You just got to get started. You just got to get going. And I can tell you this. I did my first few deals with no LLC, with nothing, with not knowing where the hell I was headed. You know what I mean?
That's incredible.
Man, I just wanted to get out of the rat race, man. I wanted to get out of the rat race, and I wanted to be able to gain some financial freedom for myself and my family and those around me. So I started making rough draft moves.
I love the way you word that, because so many people have an idea, but they don't pull the trigger. They're gun shy because they're waiting for the perfect time. And I always say
Yes.
show up messy, but the way you say it, right? Rough draft moves. And we talked about this also on the podcast. Like, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. Anyone out
I
there with a
love it.
big idea, look at Carlos. No connections, no excuses. Flipped his first property without an LLC. Let that sink in for a minute, audience. I love you, buddy. And also another thing that you brought up, which I dig as well, is power in proximity, right? And
Hmm.
surrounding yourself with like badass people with the same mindset. How important is that for you?
Well, there's an old saying, you are who you hang out with. You are who you hang out with. And I come from a pretty bad neighborhood, just like a lot of people in this country, because most people in this country, I mean, we're not, they're not rich. We're not rich. We don't grow up as part of that 1 to 3%. I
Right.
come from a place, excuse me?
No, I'm saying right. Yeah. Keep going.
Yeah. No, I come from a place where, my mother, she had, food stamps at some point. She had cash assistance, rent assistance, WIC, welfare. At some point, we went through that. And I can tell you this, I had to slowly but surely filter out a lot of those friendships that I grew up with, because most of them were up to no good. And unfortunately, when you hang around with people that are up to no good, and you hang around people that are not going anywhere in life, well, where do you think you're gonna end up? And what kind of influence and motivation and inspiration are you gonna have from hanging out with those specific individuals, right? So that's
100%.
something that people need to understand, is get next to people that like inspire you to do better. Whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, just get next to people that really light your soul on fire and push you to be a better you. So that's really what I
Which
want to
is
tell people.
exactly why I relentlessly stalked you to get you on the show and have an IG live with you today, my man, because I see what you're doing, and your
Thank you.
work ethic is second to none. Your mindset is as big as they come. And
Thank you,
and
brother.
speaking of, yeah, absolutely, brother. I have so much love for you. And for my audience, should you go check out what Carlos has going on? No brainer. Guys on absolute fire. And also not just real estate, mindset, everything that he does. And another thing that you discussed on the episode, which is out right now, is trading in the good for the great, which is exactly what you did and exactly what I did as well. And so many people stop and they give themselves a ceiling, but not you. How important is that?
A lot of people, a lot of us, whether we admit this or not, we have limited beliefs. We have limited beliefs that really keep us down, right? We have limited beliefs in ourselves with our own limitations. We have limited beliefs on what the possibilities out there are. And that's why most people never even get started. You know what I'm saying? Like, most people never even get started because of that reason, because of their limited beliefs, whether they acquire those limited beliefs through programming, right? Through parents. Like, if your parents never were successful, there's a strong possibility that you're going to grow up with the wrong type of programming, with the type of parents that are going to tell you, hey, no, you need to go to school, graduate, get a job, go work for somebody, right? Because guess what? They're not doing that because they don't want you to succeed. They just don't know any better. They're just projecting, their own limited beliefs and their own self-limitations onto you. And they're telling you these things because that's what they feel is the best thing for you. And they're saying these things out of love. So that's one thing that I'm very grateful when it comes to my own mother. My own mother never told me I couldn't do something. Never. As poor as we were, my mom doesn't even speak English to this day, but she never told me that I couldn't do something. And that went a long way, brother. I got my programming from a hustler, which was my mother.
100%, bro. 100%. And your mom is such a visionary, and she allowed you this path to keep going. And I know the whole story, and the audience is going to see it on the show. It's one of the things I dig about you. And you're so right. Like, a lot of times our foundation, it's not personal, right? They're just projecting on you what they think to be successful. But your mom kind of set the tone on working your ass off and having a strategy. I even remember when you were saying on the show, and this one really hit home, like you guys were going to use her money to live, right? And then they were going to take your money that on one of your side jobs and then use that for the future. Like, you guys always had a strategy, so to speak.
So we used when we were in Mexico, we used my money to get her back on a bus and get her to Phoenix, Arizona. That's what we used our my money. My when I was bagging groceries in Mexico, I saved up my money and I put it away for her for us to make another attempt into accomplishing the American dream. And God is amazing, bro. Like I can sit here and tell you, like this is my building, right? This is my building right here.
Hell
I got
yes.
this is my building. I paid a few $1 million for this building back in 2019. And that's one thing that I highly encourage a lot of hustlers out there, a lot of entrepreneurs, is before you buy, the cars and the watches and the houses, invest into assets that are going to take care of those liabilities in the future.
Yes.
Delayed gratification. Delayed
Yes.
gratification. Brother, it took me a minimum of 4 to 5 years to go buy like my first big watch. I bought a Rolex from Chicago a few years ago. That was my first big watch, right? Before I ever spent 60 grand on this watch, with Peter Marco over on Beverly Hills, I was already established. I already had, 20 something companies by then. Before I bought my Rolls Royce Wraith, I already had automated, delegated companies that were going to take care of these liabilities. So I really want to encourage people out there to not allow that money that they've never seen before, right, to burn a hole in their pockets. I want you to reinvest 80 to 90% of that money back into your business, which is what you're trying to gain financial freedom through. So hopefully that helps people out there.
100%. And you're no stranger to investing in yourself and betting on yourself. I remember you said that your goal every year is to allocate even more money into not only yours, but your family's personal growth, right?
Yeah. So now one of the best investments. So, I said this the other day to somebody. I said, the 3 best investments of 2021, one, real estate, of course. I'm a very biased thing for me to say because I flip houses for a living, right? So real estate's my number 1 investment vehicle. 2, heavy metals, gold, silver, right? Things like that. And then 3 is yourself. Before you go do the Forex thing and the crypto thing and the e-com thing, invest in yourself. And that's one thing that I really, take pride in. Not only do I invest in myself through personal development coaches, but I also invest into my family and their personal development. My wife and my 3rd grader, they both have their own coaches too. So, we want to grow as a family, brother. I leave a legacy here, and a legacy that can live past me. So in order for me to do that, I got to make sure that my family's growing with me.
Yeah, 100%, my man. And especially like you're a young kid, like
James,
at a young age, like when they're a sponge. Yeah, and I know the audience is so engaging.
Yeah, so let me just say this. A lot of our programming as human beings comes from the ages of 5 to around 16 years old. Our kids, right? Coach for a 3rd grader, love it. Coach Corey, what's up, brother? So,
Yeah, Corey.
Yeah, our kids are sponges. Whether you know this or not, they're seeing what you do. They're seeing what you do, right? And they're hearing you. They're listening to everything you say, even though you may think that they're not listening. These kids around us, like my children, my 8-year-old, my 2-year-old, at some point they're going to take all of daddy's personal traits, whether they're good or bad, and that's what they're going to become. So that's why we got to be very careful about this programming thing, because it's real. And for the parents out there, I just want you guys to know, be very, very, very aware of the things you say and how you live your life around your children.
That's right. And it's conditioning. You condition them the right ways, and that's how they're going to grow up. And I love it. Carlos, I love you so much, buddy. You're in such fire. I want to end it with this. You talk about that there's a big difference between motivation and commitment. Elaborate on that for a second.
Well, there's been a lot of times in my life, brother, where I was motivated to do certain things, but I just wasn't committed. Motivation is one of those things where, you're like, oh man, I'm overweight. I'm going to go to the gym. Right. And that's a one-time thing. Or, motivation is, so you go to a real estate seminar and you come out of that seminar super pumped and ready to go. And then that dies out.
Yep.
But when you make a commitment, It's almost like a personal contract with yourself. You know, it's an
Ooh,
executable
love
contract
that.
where if I say, hey, I'm going to get my ass to the gym 4 times a week minimum, well, guess what? What you do is you put that in your Google Calendar or whatever you use to schedule your, you know, your times. You put that in your Google Calendar and you make sure that your butt is in that gym a minimum, whether it's rain, snow, or fair weather. You're in the gym 4 times a week. Now, next example. I'm going to go to the seminar. I'm going to spend the money on the seminar, and I am not going to give up until I get my first deal. See, that's commitment. That's commitment, right? Because guess what? Once you get that first deal at some point, once the motivation has, you know, faded out, and you get that first deal because of commitment and discipline, man, you're going to keep going and you're going to succeed. So I want people to really realize the difference between commitment and motivation.
Such a big difference. And the way you just worded it so articulately, it makes so much sense for the audience. It's going to be so valuable. The episode is out now. It's such a great deep dive into your
Thank you, Jim.
story, Carlos. And one of the things that you do is you tell a very graphic story and you present a visualization when you were in Mexico, coming from the mud, not just like literally, but like, you know, also like psychologically and all the trauma that they came with and so forth. It's such an unbelievable testament to you, the character, the podcast, to break records. The audience is going to absolutely love it. In regards to that, where could some of my audience find you? Where do you hang out the most aside from Instagram? How can they catch up with you?
Man, you know what? So I'm one of those individuals where I used to be in people that that had some things figured out, because nobody has their whole life figured out.
No one.
Nobody. No one's ever going to arrive. So I used to be one of those individuals that, you know, I would direct message other people that I wanted to, I aspired to be. And, you know, sometimes some of those folks never gave me the time of the day, and that's okay. That's okay, right? I understand. People are occupied, right? I want people to understand that if you DM me when it comes to life, business, mindset, spirituality, anything, right? I will get back to you, because I really do love people, and I really do want to serve people to the best of my capacity. Because there's something about serving others, and there's something about helping others achieve their own goals, right? There's something that God does, that he reciprocates that energy, and he reciprocates that intention back to your own life in forms of blessing. So I
100%.
just want to understand that.
And one of my favorite things about you, aside from the obvious, is the faith and the spirituality. You don't shy away from that. I'm such a big believer also in the universe. What does it
Hustle.
say? That's right. I
God.
absolutely love it, brother.
Yes, sir.
God, family, hustle. Leave the audience with one last tool, one last takeaway.
One last takeaway. It starts with mindset, guys. It starts with mindset. I want you guys, if you haven't picked this book up yet, I want you to pick up a book called Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker. It starts in the mind here. Then that thought turns into an emotion. And then that emotion eventually what? Turns into action. So thought, emotion, action. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind by T. Harv Eker.
So much love for you, brother. Audience, go check out the episode on the CLS Experience. Anyway, you listen to
Send me the
podcasts,
link.
check out the book. I'm
Send me the
gonna have my girl share all the assets with you right after this. We're gonna share the hell of it and break every single record of all time. The world needs to hear your story. Obviously, see what you're up to. So much love and so much respect for you, brother. I'm so grateful for the bond that we're growing, and of course, this is just the beginning of our relationship. Nothing but love to you, my friend.
Same, brother. God bless you.
You too, Carlos. Take care, buddy. Bye-bye. Carlos Reyes, the CLS Experience, brand new episode, breaking records anywhere you listen to podcast. Download it right now. Such an unbelievable story and a testament to Carlos, the man, his journey. Yes, he's a real estate mogul, but how did he get there? No connections, no excuses. Check it out right now. This is Craig Siegel, the CLS Experience, live from Santa Monica Pier. A little bit of change of scenery this week. What's up, BK? I see you, buddy. Hey, Monica. Tammy, how you doing, girl? Jessica, I love you all so much. If you take away one thing, take away this. Sharpen the axe and think big. If anybody is going to think, you might as well think huge. Make yourself uncomfortable. Make yourself feel like, can I really do that? And then push forward. That's when you really have growth. When you step out of your comfort zone, when you make a commitment to yourself that you're going to think big, expand your paradigms, and then go chase your God-given dreams. You all deserve to live the life you live, desire. Joel, I see you, buddy. I'm going to see you in 25 minutes. Actually, more like an hour, but I love you guys. Rachel, I love you. Have an unbelievable day, all of you. Think big.